Shalom, shalom, peace, peace, everyone. This is Jadiel from the Fourth Angels Learning Center, and today we're going to be discussing a very important message that has to go out in these last days. Now, this message is broken down in three elements, and it's centered around the name of our ministry, Fourth Angels Learning Center. So we're going to be talking about the three angels' message and how that leads up to the fourth angel's message. There is a scripture lesson video on the fourth angel that we just made recently, but there was a lot of details that was left out simply because I didn't go through these particular messages. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the first angel, second angel, and third angel's message so we can understand what type of message needs to be presented in the last days. They're not separate from each other. There is one message that engulfs, so many things that's needed for the present time, as well as a warning that is also given. So before we take a look at these elements, I want to first just give you guys the opportunity to support us. If we've been a blessing to you guys and you guys want us to continue to support, to continue to put out this content, you can support us at 4alc.com. You can also support us at Cash App, $4ALC. Bless, that's 4ALC BLESS. And we appreciate all the support, the prayers, and everything like that, the emails and all those things. So we also want to remind you guys, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing, sharing these videos, clicking the notification to make sure you get notified for the new videos that's coming out, and just, partake, dialogue with us, send us your comments, send us your emails. We'll be happy to respond by video also. So we're collecting all the questions, and we're going to have a huge Q&A video based off of the questions that's emailed. So please feel free to email us, and we'll make sure that we make a video based off of those questions as well. So as we get started, we're going to look at the first angel, which is located in the book of Revelation. It's located in the book of Revelation, chapter 14. And this is something very important. So there's a few elements that we need to first clarify here. I believe we clarified it in the first video of the fourth angel's message when I went through it really quick, but we're going to look at it here. So verse 6 starts out, and it says, I saw another angel. Now, even though it says I saw another angel, this is the beginning of this particular thing. Look, they even recognize there's three angels messages here. So when you look at this, it says, I saw another angel fly in the midst of heaven. If you go down to verse 8, it says, and there followed another angel. And then if you look at verse 9, it says, the third angel followed them. So it's clearly, even though it says another, it's clearly showing these three angel elements. So before I want to look at this, I want to show before that is that there's this 144,000 that appears here, and it's giving you a description of this 144,000. It says here in verse 4, these are they which are not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb whithersoever he goes. These were redeemed from among men, the first fruits unto Elohim and to the Lamb. And it says, in their mouth was found no guile, for they were without fault before the throne. This is very important to get. In their mouth was found no guile. And then we see verse 6 starting with the message, right? Showing that the message is an unadulterated truth message. It's not a message that has inaccuracies in it, so to speak. Now, I understand there's a lot of flaws in the way people understand things, but we are flawed. This is something that Yah is going to perform in the last days. But why am I saying last days? Because the 144,000 is going to be chosen in the last days. Let's go to Revelation 7. It says, after these things, I saw four angels standing on the four corners of the earth, holding the four winds of the earth, that the wind should not blow on the earth, nor the sea, nor on any tree. And I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living Elohim. And he cried with a loud voice to the four angels to whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea, saying, do not hurt the earth yet, or the sea, or the trees, till we have sealed the servants of our Elohim in their foreheads. And I heard the number of them that were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. 144,000 were sealed before the destruction of the earth, before destruction starts to pour out. So Yah sends an angel. The angel says, hold on, don't hurt, right? Don't hurt the earth and the sea until we've sealed the servants of Elohim in their forehead. And this sealing is 144,000. Now, after that 144,000 is sealed, there's a message, according to Revelation 14, that they're going to be given. Now, this message that they're going to be given is going to be happening during troublous times, because after they seal it, this is when certain protections from the destruction that's being held back will be released. Matthew chapter 24 tells us this when Messiah was preaching, telling us that there's going to be a time of trouble, telling us that there's going to be people speaking when they're being betrayed and taken. Matthew chapter 10, where they're being taken into the counselors and before kings and before all these people. And it says not to think about what you're going to say, because Yah will give you the words to say. So when we get to Matthew chapter 14, we have the 144,000 there. We have a description that there's no guile found in their mouth. And then we have the message that's coming out of their mouth. You know, the word angel means messenger. So the messengers, right, start to preach this message starting from Revelation chapter 14, verse 6. And I'm only going to do the first angel here. And in the next video, we're going to do the second angel. We're going to break it down this way. Look at what it says. It says that this message was the everlasting gospel that was preached unto them that dwell on the earth, to every nation, kindred, tongue, and people. Why is this very important for me to point out? Well, there's been a lot of teachings. There's been a lot of breakdowns. There's been a lot of YouTube videos and a lot of churches erecting all these different locations for years. So why is there a need for a group of people with no guile found in their mouth, being without fault before the throne, bringing this everlasting gospel to everyone on the earth? Well, the answer is because the message has been distorted, has been polluted, has been corrupted, has been twisted, so many different things. False prophets, false teachers, so many different things to distort what Yah wants everybody to understand. And these individuals are going to come with no guile found in their mouth, no greed, no falsehood in regards to the message. So that way they can teach this everlasting gospel to everyone on the earth in the last days. Messiah also mentioned this in Matthew chapter 20. Matthew chapter 24, I believe. Let's look at this. Verse 14, it says here, it says, this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all the nations. And then it says, and then the end come. And then shall the end come. So this is very important to what this is going to promote, what this is going to provoke. When this gospel of the kingdom, the everlasting gospel, is preached in all the world as a witness unto all the nations, then shall the end come. Many people are like, wait a minute, everyone heard the gospel. There's churches everywhere. There's people preaching everywhere. Well, guess what? There's going to be an unadulterated understanding of the gospel that's going to be preached in the last days, and it's going to be very specific, and it's going to be done accurately, and it's going to be done by these chosen individuals. So it has to be preached afresh, especially to counteract all these false gospels going on out here, especially by these false prophets. So with that being said, look at the message that after the gospel is being, while the gospel is being preached to everyone that dwells on the earth, look at what it says right here. This message is saying, right, fear Elohim and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come. Worship him that made heaven and earth, the sea, and the fountains of water. And everybody says this is simple, but just for the fact that everyone don't even know, they don't know who the true Elohim is. They don't know whether it's a Trinity. They don't know whether it's a oneness. They don't know whether it's a Father and Son. They don't know what it is. They don't know whether it's four people. There's people saying that there's a husband and wife, the father and his wife, and the son and his wife. There's so many different false perspectives that's floating around. There's definitely a necessity to clarify who is this person that we worship. But not only that, there's a lack of fearing. There's a lack of fearing of Elohim. We're going to look at what these elements actually mean. What does it mean to fear Elohim? Why does it need to be told that we need to fear Elohim and give glory to him? What is lacking that this has to be a message to be given? Then it says the hour of his judgment has come. This is just another element showing what point in time of history are we located in, and to worship him that made heaven, earth, sea, and all the fountains of waters. So let's start with the fear of Elohim and to glorify him. What does it mean? Why do we have to reiterate this part of the gospel message? Well, many people think the gospel message is that the Father gave his son, gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him. But they forget the aspect of the good news pertaining to you, what happens to you. And also the message given to you, requiring something from you. You know, we always think about something Yah is doing. We don't think something Yah is asking us to do. And here we have it. Fear him, and not only fear him, do something also. Give him glory. Fear him and give him glory. Let's look at a few verses pertaining to fear. Let's go to Exodus. Exodus chapter 18, looking at verse 21. Let's look at what it says about fearing Yah. It says, moreover you shall provide out of all the people able men, such as fear Elohim, men of truth, hating covetousness, and place them over to be rulers of thousands, rulers of hundreds, rulers of fifties, and rulers of tens. This is during the time when Yah is giving them the ordinances and the laws and the commandments, and he's teaching them how to walk in them, right? Verse 20 says, you shall teach them ordinances and laws, and shall show them the way wherein they must walk, and the work that they must do. So the statutes and judgments was being given to them. Israel was being structured as a nation, as a governing nation, right? And it's telling them what type of people to put in charge. And it says, put in people who fear Elohim. And it says the characteristics of what does that mean? Person that fears Elohim, men of truth, hate covetousness. They hate greed and evil desire and selfish ambition and prideful thoughts and perspectives. The fear of Elohim is the submission that he is the one, and that his ways are the best, and that his words is the truth, and that has nothing to do about me, but has everything to do about Yah. This is the mindset of a person that fears Elohim. Let's continue to look at this. Exodus chapter, let's go to chapter 14. Chapter 14, verse 31. It says, And Israel saw the great work which Yahuwah did upon the Egyptians. And the people feared Yah and believed Yah and his servants. So fearing Yah is a recognition, not only a recognition, but a submission of mind, because it says, and they believed Yah and his servant Moses. It didn't say that they just obeyed Yah. It said that they believed him. They recognized him. They acknowledged him. Fearing Yah is very important. Now, why does this have to be reiterated in the last days? Because people are no longer fearing him with their minds and their hearts. They're no longer submitting to him. He is no longer everything to them. He is now just a part of their everyday routine. So it's very important that we understand, why does this fear Elohim have to be preached again in the last days before the judgment comes? Because there's a lot of people walking around thinking that they are following Yah and they don't even fear him. They don't even acknowledge him to be the one that gives them truth, to be the one that reveals all things to them. So we have to make sure that when we're preaching this message, that we're understanding that the gospel is centered around helping people understand how to believe in Yah, how to trust in him, and how to view his word. It says men of truth, how to look at Yah's word like it is the only thing that we need to survive. Men shall not live by bread alone, but by every word. Men shall live by every word that proceeds out of his mouth. Let's continue to look at a few more, because I think that this is a very important element, just to truth in general, just to understand truth in general. Fearing Yah is, rather than the cliches, the fear of Yah is the beginning of wisdom. Memorizing verses is not what's going to get us to walk in righteousness. Understanding it is what gets us to walk in righteousness. Look what it says, Deuteronomy 6, verse 24. And Yah commanded us to do all these statutes, to fear Yah our Elohim for our good always, that he might preserve us alive even as it is this day. So he says he commanded us to do these statutes, and then it says to fear him, to fear Yah our Elohim. So when he gives us commandments and statutes, it's to acknowledge that he is giving it to us for, what does it say? Our good always. So that way he can preserve us alive. Look what it says in verse 25. It shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before our Elohim Yah, as he commanded us. So there's this recognition, there's this power, there's this righteousness that we receive from Yah when we acknowledge that everything that he's commanded us is for our good. Everything that he's commanded us is to preserve us alive. If you recognize that Yah is doing this is what allows us to trust him in everything that we do, in every point of our life. We trust him because we know that what he's saying is true and what he's saying is for us. So we fear him, knowing that he is doing all these things for us. And that's why we approach his commandments in belief. Let's look at Deuteronomy 8, verse 6. Deuteronomy 8, verse 6 says, therefore you shall keep the commandments of Yah, your Elohim, walk in his ways and fear him. There's always going to be this correlation of fearing him as well as keeping his commandments and walking in his ways, because there's this emphasis, the emphasis that the fear of Yah is also an acknowledgement of everything that he says, everything that he does, and everything that he tells you to do. Let's look at chapter 10, verse 12. Chapter 10, verse 12, it says, now, Israel, what does Yahuwah your Elohim require of you? But to fear Yah your Elohim, to walk in all his ways, to love him, to serve Yah your Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul. And look what it says after that. To keep the commandments of Yah and his statutes which I command you this day for your good, for your good. So the fear of Yah is what promotes the walk. The fear of Yah, it's what promotes the love. It's what promotes us to serve Yah with all of our heart and soul, and it's what provokes or promotes us to keep his commandments and his statutes. Everything is done by the fear of Yah in our hearts. We're going to look at a few more verses. There's a lot of verses. I'm going to go to Psalms. Let's go to Psalms 33. Psalms 33, verse 18. Look at what it says here. It says, behold, the eye of Yah is upon them that fear him, and upon them that hope in his mercy. See, the assumption here in this line is that those who hope in his mercy are also the ones that fear him. So there's another element. The mind is in hope, is in assurance of Yah's mercy, is in the recognition of Yah's correction, meaning that Yah's gonna show us. He's gonna lead us. He's gonna tell us when one way is wrong and when the other way is right. He's gonna show us all these things. He's gonna have mercy. He's gonna have forgiveness. He's gonna turn us from our ways and cause us to walk in his ways. So let's look at a few more. Psalms 25, looking at verse 12 to 14. It says, what man is he that fears Yah? Him shall he teach in the way that he shall choose. So Yah is able to teach a person that fears him. It says his soul shall dwell at ease. So he will have shalom. He will have peace. His seed shall inherit the earth. His children shall inherit the earth. It says the secret of Yah is with them that fear him, and he will show them his covenant. So the secret of Yah. Now, this is one of the things also, the secrets that Yah has is for those who fear him. It's not like every single person in the world these things are secrets to, is that his people are shown these secrets. And his people are the ones that show it to others to bring them into this relationship with Yah, to help others to fear Yah as well, to believe him, to trust him, to recognize his strength, to recognize his truth, to recognize who he is. Let's go to Psalms 34, verse 9. There's a few verses here. Psalms 34, verse 9. It says, fear Yah, you saints, for there is no want to them that fear him. So those who fear him don't have a lack. Psalms 111, a lack meaning a lacking in necessity. Like if you are lacking physical things, you are not lacking in faith. You are not complaining and murmuring about the things that you are missing. You are praising and you are thankful for the things that you do have. It says the fear of Yah in Psalms 111:10. It says the fear of Yah is the beginning of wisdom. A good understanding have all they that do his commandments. His praise endureth forever. See, there's always this uplifting recognition of who Yah is. It's also the beginning of wisdom. Wisdom is to know what to do and to do it. Because a fool is to not follow instructions. So a wise person is to know what's the right thing to do and to do it. A good understanding have they that do his commandments, it says. A good understanding have they that do his commandments. So the fear of Yah is centered around the understanding that a person has, the experience that a person receives by trusting in what Yah says, the wisdom that they receive or begin to receive as they believe and acknowledge that what he says is true. And then it says the praise that they're giving to him, the praise that comes out. Psalms 112, verse 1, it says, praise ye Yah. Blessed is the man that fears Yah and that delights greatly in his commandments. Why is a person that fears Yah delighting in his commandments? Because to believe and to trust in Yah, anything that he says is just wonderful to us. We know that everything that he says is for our good always. That's what it says in Deuteronomy. So this is why we greatly delight in his commandments, knowing that he has these things for us. It allows us to recognize how much more does he have for us that we don't even know. If his words is for us and he's giving us all these commands, there's so much more that he wants to give to us. We need to recognize that even the words that he's given to us is not against us, like many think. His commandments and laws not against us, but for us. It says, you that fear Yah, trust in Yah, he is their help and their shield. So to fear Yah, to fear him is missing. Why? Because there is no trust in the word these days. What's happening is that people are saying that the Spirit is moving them to do things that the word is contrary, speaking against. I've come in contact with people that say, yeah, I know it says this here, but I feel like Yah wants me to. There's this disconnect. There's this spiritualism that's going on where they're separating the physical demonstration of trusting in Yah with the belief and the trust that you have in your mind and in your heart. There's no way that you can separate the two. If I trust my children, I'm going to show them that I trust them. And this is what is moving away. There's this growth of spiritualism in these last days, and this is why Revelation is teaching us in these messages that has to go out in the last days is to restore this understanding of the fear of Yah. Let me see if I could pull it up again. To restore the understanding of the fear of Yah is the beginning of the preaching of the gospel. So he preached the gospel to all the nations, saying with a loud voice. So this is what's being said when the gospel is being preached. Fear God. But of course, these two verses is not expressing the totality of the message. It's just telling you how to pull or what to look for in the scriptures to complete this message. We went through a bunch of scriptures to show the understanding of what fear God means. But then there's attached to it another element. It says, fear Elohim and give glory to him because the hour of his judgment has come. This is the time of the end. This is the time of judgment. So understand and learn how to fear him again and give glory to him. So the recognition, but the giving glory also. The giving glory is very important. How do we give glory? Is this talking about just simply praising him? Is just talking about just saying, I'm going to give you esteem and say, your esteem? Like, how can you give him esteem? How can you give him glory? Well, let's look in the scripture. Because this is what's missing in these last days. This is what's missing right now. And this is what we need to restore back in the minds of his people. Psalms 29, looking at verse 1 and 2, it says, give unto Yahuwah, O ye mighty, give unto Yahuwah glory and strength, physical. Give unto Yahuwah the glory due to his name. Worship Yahuwah in the beauty of holiness. So give unto Yahuwah glory and strength. Glory and strength. How do you give him strength? Right? How do you give him glory? There's this recognition with your mind, fear Yah in your mind, your heart, trust his commandments. The giving of the glory is to demonstrate. It's to demonstrate it. So the fear of Yah is understanding of it, the wisdom of it, the belief of it, the righteousness of it, and the glory, the giving the glory to him is to surrender your actions to the demonstrating of what he is saying to us. Fear Yah means to have it in your mind and in your heart. Give glory is to demonstrate what's in your mind and in your heart, in your lifestyle, in your actions. Psalms 96, verse 8. Give unto Yahuwah the glory due to his name. Bring an offering and come into his courts. So also the offerings, the bringing of his praise, the sacrificing of his praise, the prayers, all of these aspects, worship in the beauty of his holiness, fear before him all the earth. So these demonstrations, right? Worship him, come before him, give to him, offer your offerings, give to him your worship, give to him your praise. But what else are we going to give to him? Let's look at Isaiah. Prophet Isaiah brings us into a little bit more intricate understanding of giving glory to him. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 3 to 5, it says, the voice of him that's crying in the wilderness, right? Is crying in the wilderness to prepare the way of Yah. So the way of Yah, to make straight in the desert the way for a highway. Every valley shall be exalted, every mountain and hill shall be made low, the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain. The glory of Yah shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together, for the mouth of Yah has spoken it. So what is it that the world is seeing? They're seeing a restoration. Mountains being brought low, valleys being brought high, crooked places made straight, rough places made plain. All the restoration of what is out of whack is being put back in its rightful way, put back in its rightful understanding. A crooked place made straight, a valley made high, a mountain brought low. So everything could be put back where it's supposed to be. This is a restoration of all things. This is not talking about actual highways. This is talking about preparing the way of Yah, preparing the way of Yah, and the glory of Yah being revealed. Verse 5, all flesh is going to see this. So how is all flesh going to see this? Let's look at a few more verses. Isaiah 42, how is all flesh going to see the glory? When we give glory to him, how is everyone going to see this glory? Isaiah 42, verse 12, it says, let them give glory to Yahuwah and declare his praise in the islands. So let's look at Malachi. I want to try to make it through these things quickly. Malachi chapter 2, verse 2, it says, if you will not hear, and if you will not lay it in your heart, to give glory unto my name, saith Yahuwah of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you, and I will curse your blessings. I have cursed them already because you do not lay it to heart. So what is it that they're doing? What is it that they're not doing? You see, they're not. What is it that where in scripture does it tell us that our blessings will be turned into cursings? So in Deuteronomy, it teaches us that our blessings will be turned into cursing. The consequences of not glorifying him is that our blessings will be turned into cursings. And in Deuteronomy, it says, I lay before you blessings and cursings. Choose life. The cursings come with disobedience. The cursings come with neglect on what Yah has said. The curses come with a lack of fear, a lack of belief, a lack of righteousness. Let's go to Acts chapter 17. 27 and 28, right? Look at what it says. It says that they seek Yah, if happily they might feel after him and find him, though he be not far from every one of us. For in him we live, we move, and we have our being. So in him we live, we move, and we have our being. We not only live righteously, we move in him, and we have our being. This is how we conduct ourselves. So we're talking about the conducting of ourselves. Let's talk about this glory a little bit more. Let's talk about this glory a little bit more. How is the glory given? How is the glory seen? It says everyone will see the glory of Yah will be revealed and everybody will see it all together, right? So Psalms 97, verse 6. It says the heavens declare his righteousness and all the people see his glory. Let's pay attention to this. The heavens show righteousness, or his righteous doings, and all the people see the glory because they see what Yah has done and is doing. So when we give glory to him, we're doing something for him. We're showing something that belongs to him, and that's his commandments, his statutes, and his judgments. We don't only believe them because he said it. We don't only trust in them because we fear him, but we do them to give him glory, to show his glory. So people see the glory when they see you doing it. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verse 24. We read this earlier. I think this is very important. In verse 25, it says, "It shall be our righteousness if we observe to do all these commandments before Yahuwah our Elohim, as he have commanded us." So the righteousness is to observe and to do all the commandments. It's to show everybody, why are you doing that? Well, I'm doing this because this is what Yah told us to do. I'm manifesting the righteousness of Yah by walking in righteousness. Paul even promotes this in Romans chapter 8, where he says this. He says that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit, who walk. So the saints are walking after the righteousness of the law. They're demonstrating the right doings of the law. So righteousness is also a manifestation of that glory, of the glory that's being seen. But not only righteousness, the keeping of the law glorifies him. This is definitely what's going to happen in these last days. The nations are going to see us and recognize the wisdom, right? The fearing Yah is the beginning of wisdom. Let's look at what it says in Deuteronomy chapter 4, and then we're going to go to, let me see, Isaiah chapter 60. So look at Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 6. It says, "Keep therefore and do them. This is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these things and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. What nation is there so great who have Elohim so near as Yahuwah our Elohim is in all these things that we call upon him for?" What nation is that so great who has Elohim so near? It says, "This is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations." We are going to display the glory of Yah by giving him our strength, giving him glory and strength. We are going to allow our actions to display that he is the one that we trust. He is the one that we follow. Isaiah chapter 60 says here, "Arise, shine, for your light is come. The glory of Yah is risen upon you." It says, "Behold, darkness shall cover the earth, and worse darkness the people, but Yahuwah shall rise upon you, and his glory shall be seen upon you. The nations shall come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your rising." His glory, verse 2, his glory shall be seen upon you. Very important. How can we do that? If we're doing away with laws, if we're ignoring laws, if we're saying this part of the word is cultural, this is not something we need to do, we're not fully understanding his commandments. We're not fully understanding his statutes and judgments. So we need to make these valleys exalt. We need to make these mountains low. We need to make the crooked path straight by understanding what is Yah asking us to do by these statutes, by these commandments. We ought to fear Yah, trust him, giving our belief and our dependency on him. And then we are supposed to display his word manifest in our actions, to give him that strength, to love him with all of our heart, strength, our glory, to give him glory, right? Not only to give him glory, but that his glory will be seen on us. When we are displaying righteousness, other people are seeing the glory of Yah. This is how it works. Matthew chapter 5. Matthew chapter 5. Look at what it says here in verse 16. Remember, we've been talking about light. Let your light shine before men, right? Before the nations, that they may see your good works and glorify, that means give glory to your Father which is in heaven. So they're going to see your good works. They're going to see your good works, and then they're going to give glory to the Father. How are they going to give glory to the Father? By them now fearing Yah, accepting his righteousness, and displaying his good works or commandments, his laws. So this is what has to be restored in this final message, this gospel message that has been distorted over the years and now needs to be restored back into its proper understanding. So we say to a loud voice, fear Elohim, give glory to him for the hour of his judgment to come. Worship him that has made the earth, the sea, and the fountains of water. And I'm going to do a part 2 because I don't want this video to be long. But the fearing of Elohim and the giving glory to him, so important, and is so far from what we're seeing in the majority. I see a lot of brothers and sisters out here really walking in the truth and really giving them their hearts and really receiving from Yah the blessings. And we need to understand that there's many who don't even know what fear Yah means. They think it just, oh yeah, just reverence him and give glory. That means to praise him. No, there's much more. How is the people on this earth going to see his glory? Not by you praising him. There's people praising him all day in these false churches. How are they going to see his righteousness? How are they going to see his truth? How are they going to see his power through you? Is by you walking in it, by you displaying it. That's how the nations are going to see. And when the nations see, that's when they're going to want to give glory to the Father as well. That's what it says in Matthew chapter 5. Let your light shine, that men may see your good works and glorify and give glory to Yah. So, do we understand how to fear him? Do we understand what fearing him means? I hope that this video was able to give us that insight on understanding that and self-reflection, recognizing like maybe we need to go back and really take a look at things and make sure that we're fearing him properly and that we're giving him the esteem correctly. Not only giving him esteem, but giving him, allowing his righteousness to be seen, his glory to be seen on us, as Isaiah chapter 60 said. It says that his light shall shine upon you, and his glory shall be seen upon you. The nations shall come to your light, and kings to the brightness of your rising. Your rising. This is very important for us. This message is going out now. This is the last days in which Yah is putting his people together to restore, to make straight the crooked paths, to build up the old waste places, as it says in Isaiah chapter 58. So we need to make sure that we understand the fear of Yah and how to give glory to him. We're going to talk about the next aspect, which is the hour of his judgment has come, and to worship him. And we're going to talk about those elements in the next video. We're going to do a part 2 of the first angel. And I hope that this was simple. I hope that this was also impactful. Go back and study it and let us know what you guys think. Feel free to email us and we'll be happy to respond. All right. Shalom, everyone. I hope you guys have a blessed day. Shalom, shalom. Thank you guys for joining our study today. I hope that it was edifying. And if you want to support this ministry, you can support us on 4alc.com. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube page. Click the like button and the notification bell. I hope to see you guys on the next study. Shalom, guys.